referring that book for actual understanding. My voice is low. Is it better now? Is it fine now? It's still low. It's better now. It's proper. Yeah. Maybe because actually I'm down with fever, tough cold and fever. So maybe a little bit of hissed in my voice as well. Okay. So as I said, this part we are going to understand from the government textbook. Okay, very beautifully given, very beautifully given, and it's like in a very systematic order they have explained about the human nervous system. So we have to focus on this part from this particular book. That is, the nervous system in humans is well developed and complex. It is broadly classified into three parts: the CNS, PNS, and ANS. So CNS is nothing but the central nervous system. PNS is going to be the peripheral nervous system, and ANS is going to be the autonomic nervous system. Right? Let us talk in detail about the CNS first. So central nervous system or the CNS, the brain and spinal cord are the parts of CNS. So see, the nervous system is classified into three parts. Out of these three parts, the CNS is going to be made up of two things: the brain and the spinal. Okay, are the parts of the CNS which lie along the mid dorsal axis. So they are the ones going to lie along the mid dorsal axis. Correct? Brain is enclosed within the brain box called as cranium of the skull. So our skull is going to have what? A cranium. Cranium is nothing but the box in which the brain is going to be safely placed. Okay. Whereas the spinal cord occupies the vertebral canal of the vertebral column. So even the spinal cord is going to be protected in a bony structure that is nothing but the vertebral column. Okay. So the brain is also protected in the cranium, and the spinal cord is also protected in the vertebral column. Inner to these bony coverings are three protective membranes called as meninges. So understand this bit. ये जो बोनी कवरिंग है क्रेनियम का या वर्टिब्रल कॉलम का, इनके अंदर जो ब्रेन या स्पाइनल कॉर्ड है, ओके, उसके ऊपर और तीन कवरिंग्स. So look at the level of security. Z security, isn't it? Z security है कि नहीं? Already cranium है, उसके अंदर और तीन लेयर्स का सेफ्टी कवर्स है. Okay. So inner to these bony coverings are the three protective membranes called as meninges. These meninges protect the brain as well as the spinal cord. So these meninges are in continuity. वो brain को cover करके आगे है ना, continue होते हैं वो cover in the spinal cord as well. So brain भी covered है अपना, सी brain को भी पूरा covering है और फिर spinal cord को भी पूरा covering, right? What are these coverings? See, उन्होंने दिए है. What are these coverings altogether? First, dura mater. It is the outermost stuff, non-vascular, means it does not have any blood supply. It's thick, fibrous meninx. Meninx का मतलब cup, okay, and is attached to the inner side of the cranium. So, if this is going to be the cranium, अंदर से इसको layer है of dura mater. Okay, so it's inside the cranium. Fine. It is separated from the underlying arachnoid matter by the subdural space filled with serous fluid. Now, what do you mean by this? This is the cranium, right? उसके अंदर है dura mater, right? Dura mater के अंदर है arachnoid matter. Okay. Now this arachnoid matter ka layer and dura matter ka layer is going to have a space, and this space will be filled by a fluid called as serous fluid. Okay, remember what is where. Second is arachnoid matter. It is the middle, thin, non-vascular layer of connective tissue having web-like appearance. Arachnoid का मतलब ही होता है web-like. जो spiders होते हैं, spiders. You've seen spiders. They are called as arachnids because they want to form a web. Spider का web बहुत famous है, right? So वो web-like matter है, इसलिए ये matter को हम क्या कहते हैं? Arachnoid. Okay. So it is a very thin and non-vascular layer of connective tissue having web-like appearance. It is separated from the underlying pia matter below the narrow subarachnoid space filled with cerebrospinal fluid, which is nothing but CSF. Now again, as I say, this is a very important point to be noted. The dura matter and arachnoid matter के बीच में serous fluid है. Okay, arachnoid matter and pia matter के बीच में cerebrospinal fluid. Fine. So the innermost, delicate, highly vascular membrane lies in close contact with the brain. Central nervous system मतलब brain या spinal cord को भी it's closely attached and it's vascular. Means what, beta? It's going to have a lot of blood vessels, blood supply in that particular area. So dura matter is non-vascular, arachnoid matter is non-vascular, but pia matter is richly vascular. ठीक है? Did you all understand this? So I just get the things clear for you. Very easy for you all to remember then. Easy but still. This is going to be the cranium. Okay, this is the cranium. Below the cranium lies the, almost touching it, lies the dura matter. Correct? Below that, we have got arachnoid. Below that, we have got the pia matter. Correct? These three layers. Correct? Now here you can see spaces. Very clearly you can see spaces over here. Correct? So this space, okay, is going to be filled with what? The serous fluid. Okay, and the other space, which color should I use? Just this space is filled with the cerebrospinal fluid. So this is how the layers are. और इसके नीचे ये जो है, ये स्ट्रक्चर है, इसके नीचे है अपना ब्रेन या फिर स्पाइनल, व्हाटएवर. सो देखो, लुक एट द लेवल ऑफ सिक्योरिटी, सेफ्टी. Cranium, dura matter, arachnoid matter, pia matter, and बीच में जो space है, those spaces are also filled with fluid. Okay, so this is how the entire structure is going to appear like. Any difficulty in understanding these points? Any point not understood? All clear? Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Okay. Done. I feel that you should copy these things. Yeah, I'll be done. I think you should copy these things because then there will be no confusion. Draw it. I'm waiting. So it's MATE, not MATTE. MATE. Or let's man. Name. Done. Maybe some others are still drawing. I'll wait for a second. Done. Can I go back to the content? All of you will have done this. So you understood the layer. Okay. Now let us understand what is the cerebrospinal fluid altogether. A very important point again. Cerebrospinal fluid, also called as CSF, as I already said, that this particular content is very well given in your government textbook for explanation. एनसीईआरटी ने एक पैराग्राफ देकर उसको छोड़ दिया है. Okay, so we have to understand from the understanding point of view the entire chapter. Once you understand this particular thing in detail and you refer your NCERT, it will be easy for you all to understand that single paragraph. तो एक सिंगल पैराग्राफ कॉम्प्लिकेटेड लगता है क्योंकि उसको कोई भी आगा पीछा दिया नहीं है. Whereas यहाँ पर उन्होंने पूरा डिटेल में एक्सप्लेन किया है. That's the only reason that I am using this particular content. मुझे एनसीईआरटी में पढ़ाने पर 2 लेक्चर में ये चैप्टर खत्म हो जाएगा बेटा. इतना कम मैटर. लेकिन आपके नीट में भी और आपके बोर्ड्स में भी ये चैप्टर को वेटेज ज्यादा है. So this is a chapter of your boards and these things are going to be asked in your board exams. So if I teach you from NCERT, so there are so many contents which are missing there and asked in both the exams. Okay, so NCERT छोटू है एकदम से, तो उसको खत्म करने के लिए तो 2 सेशंस बस हो जाएंगे, लेकिन उसमें डिटेलिंग कुछ भी नहीं है. What is my aim? You should be able to write long answers also. So ये वाले चैप्टर को है ना बोर्ड्स में वेटेज बहुत ज्यादा है. So you should know that how to write down the long answers because वहाँ पर उन्होंने ना CSF के बारे में कुछ बताया है ना उन्होंने डिटेल में ये 3 लेयर्स के बारे में बताया है. Only they have mentioned that there are 3 layers. So when we understand the things in detail and we read the content which is very crisp and small, it becomes easy. Okay, that's the only reason. This particular chapter and there is one more chapter that is locomotion. Okay, These are the two chapters which the government textbook has explained in a very detailed form. Rest of the chapters, NCRT is very good. It's very good. Okay. Even these chapters of NCRT are good. I'm not saying that they are bad. They are also very good, but they are not that descriptive as this book. Fine. This is there in your boards. So I'm a bit more concerned about your board marks as well. So CSF is going to be your cerebrospinal fluid. It is a lymph-like extracellular fluid secreted by choroid plexuses of pia mater, present inert to the subarachnoid space in the ventricles of the brain within the central canal of spinal cord. Now, this is a very important sentence. If you look at it, it looks to be very complex. Exactly, cerebrospinal fluid, कौन secrete करता है? So it is secreted by something called as choroid plexus. Okay, where is choroid plexus present? It is present in the pia mater. It is present in the pia mater, and the not only the like pia matter और ये जो पाया मैटर है सब एराक्नोइड मैटर के अंदर है ना. So of the pia matter present inner to the subarachnoid matter in the subarachnoid space. Subarachnoid space means we have drawn that diagram in which I had drawn those black lines. That was the subarachnoid space. So the space below the subarachnoid matter and above the pia matter. Correct? In the ventricle of the brain. Now, what is this ventricles? So, ventricles are open spaces. So, ये जो space है, इसको हम क्या कहते हैं? Ventricle कहते हैं. They are the open spaces. So, इस open space में the CFS is being produced, right? And it is also going to be produced within the central canal of the spinal cord. So, brain में भी ये space है और ये extend हो रहा है नीचे in the spinal cord, जहाँ पर उधर भी वो space continue हो रही है, which will be called as the central canal. So the CSF is not only produced in the brain, but it is also produced throughout the length of the spinal cord. Okay, fine. The CFS is secreted by the pia mater, the choroid plexus, and the ependydymal cells lining the ventricles of the brain and central canal of the spine. So entire pia mater. Okay. Then the three of is something happened with the net. If you have kindly enable participant screen sharing, I'm unable to share the screen. सो ये है अपना एड्रेस ऑफ CSF. तो अब देखो क्या हो रहा है. The three openings in the roof of the medulla oblongata help in draining out the CSF from the brain to the outside. Okay. Now, the meninges and the CSF act as shock absorber and protect the brain and spinal cord from mechanical injuries. So, as I said, it's a type of protection. It also maintains constant pressure inside the cranium. It helps in exchange of nutrients and waste between brain and brain tissue. It helps in the supply of oxygen to the brain. It protects the brain from desiccation. Desiccation का मतलब क्या है? What do you mean by desiccation? Drying up. So the brain won't dry up. It will always remain moist. Okay. Now this particular thing is asked for 2 marks in your board exams. Explain the functions of CSF. So you are supposed to write down these functions in the point form. Okay. तो ये वाला फंक्शन ऑफ CSF वेरी फेमस क्वेश्चन, हमेशा आपके बोर्ड्स में आता रहेगा. CSF is slightly alkaline fluid with a specific gravity of 1.005. A total of 100 to 120 cc of CSF is present in and around the CNS. So it's it's constantly maintained. So whenever it's going to be made, it has to be made. CC is almost equal to ml. Okay, ml है 120 ml around the CNS. Fine. अब यहाँ पर देखो बेटा, ये क्यूरोसिटी बॉक्स करके दिया है, which is really good to understand. CSF is released by the pia mater inside the ventricles of the cavities of the brain. There is release of CSF by the choroid plexus and the ependydymal cells. Does the CSF remain enclosed inside the ventricles? The answer is no. It will be flowing and it will be thrown out via the medulla oblongata के 3 openings. What can be the outcome of such situations? If it remains confined, उसका exchange का property चला जाएगा. Exchange of nutrients, exchange of gases is not going to be possible. Okay. BBB is also important. Brain barrier, blood-brain barrier, keeps a check on passage of ions and large molecules from the blood to the brain tissue. Endothelial cells lining the blood capillaries help in this process along with the astrocytes. Astrocytes are the cells of the brain which are star-shaped. That's fine. CSF is continuously generated by the ependydymal cells lining the ventricles and central canal and simultaneously drained out of the brain into the bloodstream. That is the reason what will happen? New CSF has to be produced continuously. CSF maintains a constant pressure inside the cranium. The nervous tissue is without lymphatic vessels. So because there is no lymph present in the brain, the presence of CSF is very, very important. So just like how the lymph plays a crucial role in blood circulation, similarly, the CSF is going to play a very crucial role in the brain. Similar function. Okay. Then we directly come to the urinary brain. Okay. The study of all aspects of the brain is called as encephalology. Okay. So what do you mean by that word encephalology? Study of brain. The brain can be divided into 3 main parts: forebrain, midbrain, and the hindbrain. Now see बेटा, ये जो है, ये हम वापस में तुम्हें थोड़ा सा recap दे रही हूँ. We saw that the entire nervous system is divided into 3 parts: CNS, TNS, and ANS. Out of that CNS, out of these, CNS is made up of the brain and the spinal. The brain has got 3 coverings apart from the cranium: dura mater, arachnoid mater, pia mater. Now this brain is further divided into 3 parts: forebrain, midbrain, and hindbrain. अब इसका पूरा का पूरा जो क्लासिफिकेशन है उन्होंने ऊपर दिया है, जो मैंने पर्पसली तब नहीं दिखाया. ये देखो, the central nervous system, the peripheral nervous system, the autonomic nervous system. Central nervous system is divided into brain and spinal cord. Peripheral nervous system is divided into cranial nerves and spinal nerves. Autonomic system is divided into sympathetic and parasympathetic. Okay. ये ब्रेन के ही नीचे ये तीन है, फोर ब्रेन, मिड ब्रेन एंड हाइंड ब्रेन. एक्चुअली ये यहाँ से ही कंटिन्यू करना चाहिए, बट देयर इज नो स्पेस, तो उन्होंने अलग से दिया है. Forebrain is further classified into cerebrum and diencephalon. Midbrain is further classified into optic lobes and optic chiasma. And hindbrain is further divided into cerebellum, pons, and medulla. Okay. The brain is directly attached to the pia mater. Is there nothing between them? No, it's directly attached because it has to supply blood. Now, pia mater is going to be richly supplied with blood vessels, so it has to supply nutrients to the brain, so it's directly attached. Okay. Yeah. So you all understood the classification of the central nervous system, peripheral nervous system, and autonomic nervous system. Very beautifully given in this chapter. So right now we are going to talk about this forebrain initially. Okay. Any confusion in understanding this chart specifically? किसी को कोई डाउट है ये चार्ट में? इट्स अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट चार्ट. इधर ही तुम्हें क्लासिफिकेशन पैटर्न समझ में आ गया ना, तो यू वोंट बी कंफ्यूज्ड. इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. ओके, देन वी गो टू द forebrain. Forebrain consists of olfactory lobes, cerebellum, and diencephalon. Please remember these words. Forebrain is again divided into olfactory lobes, cerebrum, and diencephalon. What are these? Let us understand. Olfactory lobes, these are highly reduced in human brain. They are covered by cerebrum from all sides except the ventral side. So it's going to be completely covered like this way. Only the ventral portion will be open. It won't be having any covering from all sides except the ventral position. Each lobe consists of olfactory peduncle and olfactory bulb. What do you mean by olfactory peduncle? The stalk. The stalk of the olfactory lobes will be called as the olfactory peduncle, and the knob-like structure, which is actually the lobe, will be called as the bulb. Okay. So cherries कैसे दिखते हैं? Cherries देखा है आपने cherries को? Have you eaten cherries? हाँ. How do they look like? There's a cherry, the one which we eat, along with a stalk. Exactly, the olfactory lobes appear like that way, with the olfactory peduncle and the olfactory bulb. Okay? Yeah, bulged with the stalk. Yes, good. Right? Cerebrum. Very important again. It is the largest part of the brain, making up about 85% of the total brain. Look at it. 85% of the brain is cerebrum. Oh my God. So something very important with that, right? It is divided into right and left cerebral hemispheres by the means of a deep, median, long fissure. Fissure का मतलब होता है कट. ओके, तो ये ऐसे दो हेमिस्फीयर्स होते हैं, और ये जो लाइन तुम्हें दिखाई दे रही है ये वाली, ये देखो, that is a long median fissure. Now I think so even my hand looks like a brain, right? When I have actually made this particular yeah. So this is how the brain actually looks like. Fine. Well, so the two hemispheres are internally connected to each other by a thick band called as corpus callosum. Okay, see, it's going to be with a thick band of nerve fibers called as corpus callosum. So कहाँ होता है corpus callosum? ये दो जो हेमिस्फीयर्स है उनके बीच में. तो ये एक दूसरे से कनेक्टेड कैसे होते हैं? दे आर कनेक्टेड इंटरनली बाय कॉर्पस कलोसम. How the olfactory lobes look like? Just like a cherry. As I said, olfactory lobes look just like a cherry, wherein they will be having a stalk and a bulb. Okay, you want me to show it? It actually appears like this. Okay, so this is going to be the stalk. And this will be the bulb. Got it? This is your olfactory lobes. There will be two lobes, one in each hemisphere. Okay? Corpus callosum is inside the two hemispheres, means it joins the two hemispheres from downside, from the central point, this point. ये points connected over. Okay. So the outer surface of the cerebrum is called as cerebral cortex, while the inner part is called as medulla. Now we know this already, that outer is always going to be the cortex and inner is always going to be the medulla. We have seen it in kidney also, correct? The cerebral cortex has outer thin region composed of gray matter and inner medulla composed of white matter. So yesterday, day before yesterday, I already told you what is the gray matter and what is the white matter. Now here they are saying the cerebral cortex has outer thin region composed of gray matter. In fact, this diagram was also shown to you all last class. है ना, बाहर से मैंने वो ग्रे मैटर बनाया हुआ दिखा था और सेंट्रल में व्हाइट पोजीशन था. And the inner, medulla composed of white matter. The surface of the cerebral hemisphere is greatly folded by many convolutions or gyri and grooves called as sulci. So this sulci and gyri are these folds. So here you can see these are the folds. These are called as convolutions. Convolutions का मतलब होता है folds. देखो कितना एकदम severely folded है ये. है ना, इसको हम कहते हैं convolutions. So the surface is going to have sulci and gyri. Grooves मतलब अंदर के तरफ जो गया है, that is going to be the sulci, और बाहर के तरफ जो है वो है gyri. These greatly increase the total surface area for accommodation of vast number of nerve cells. So what is the reason for this folding? The reason for this folding is to accommodate maximum nerve cells. ऐसे कहा जाता है, पता नहीं आपको ये पता है कि नहीं है. It's said that the more folds a person has, more IQ is going to be born by that person. So the only reason is that person who is having more sulci and gyri is going to have more number of nerve cells. So more number of nerve cells, more efficiently the brain is going to work. Okay. Each cerebral hemisphere is further divided into 4 main lobes by 3 deep sulci. Now, see, we are going much into the details of all of these. Okay, so इसीलिए मैंने बोला था कि ये जो बुक है ना, इसमें बहुत प्रिसाइजली दिया है. तो देखो, the central sulcus, which demarks frontal lobe from the parietal lobe. Okay, मतलब क्या? How do you, what do you mean by this? Look at this diagram. I'll show you. If you look at this diagram, you will come to know what I'm trying to tell you. Can you see this zone? ये देखो, ये वाला zone दिखाई दे रहा है बेटा, येलो वाला part. This yellow part can be seen by all of you all. Huh? Yes. So this yellow part is going to be called as frontal lobe. ये कैसे बना? How has it been made? See, can you see this? So there is a cut over here and a cut over here, which is making up the frontal. So the central sulcus. तो ये जो नीचे आ रहा है ना, ये लॉन्ग वाला लाइन दिख रहा है बेटा, ये डीप ग्रूव दिख रहा है तुम्हें, ये वाला डीप है ना एकदम, देखो. This is called as the central sulcus. So the central sulcus, okay, demarks the frontal lobe from the parietal lobe. This is going to be the parietal. ये जो पर्पल वाला है ये parietal lobe है. तो parietal lobe and frontal lobe के बीच में से ये जा रहा है, देखो, the central sulcus. Please understand these points. So this particular cut is separating the frontal lobe from the parietal. So the yellow and the lilac, violet, whatever color you want to say, is separated by this particular line. So this line will be called as what? This line will be called as the central sulcus. So समझ में आ गया ये sentence अभी? Central sulcus demarks frontal lobe from the parietal. Any confusion with the first point? Anyone who has not understood this particular point? नहीं तो आगे ना confusion बढ़ता जाएगा बेटा. Please tell me if you have not followed. All okay? Where is the central sulcus? समझ में आ गया? Okay. Well. Then parieto-occipital sulcus separates the parietal lobe from the occipital lobe. Okay. अब यहाँ पर parietal lobe कौन सा है वो तो मैंने ऑलरेडी बताया है या नहीं? हाँ, ये जो है ना, this is the occipital. Blue portion is going to be the occipital. ठीक है. So parieto-occipital sulcus. तो ये वाला जो डीप आ रहा है, देखो, this one. This sulcus is going to be called as parieto-occipital sulcus, which is separating the blue part from the purple part. So central sulcus, frontal and parietal के बीच में. Parieto-occipital sulcus, parietal and occipital के बीच में. इधर तक कोई डिफिकल्टी है? Then come to the next and the third one. The lateral or the Sylvian sulcus demarks the temporal lobe from the frontal as well as the parietal lobe. So here you can see. Can you see this? ये वाला sulcus दिखाई दे रहा है तुम्हें? Can you see this? This entire one, green one, it's going to be the temporal. तो ये जो टेम्पोरल लोब है, ये देखो, ये है आपका सिल्वियन sulcus. Okay, this is going to be the Sylvian sulcus, long one, which is separating the temporal lobe from the frontal also and parietal also. Clear? Any difficulty? How many cuts are there, or rather how many sulci are there? Deep sulci, 3. Central sulcus, parieto-occipital sulcus, lateral sulcus या Sylvian sulcus कहते हैं. These 3 cuts will divide the brain into how many parts? 4 parts. Frontal lobe, parietal lobe, occipital lobe, temporal. Okay. First fold नहीं बेटा, यही fold जो है ना, ये वाला, ये जहाँ मेरा arrow अब घूम रहा है ना, this one. This will be called as your lateral या फिर Sylvian fold. This one. Okay. So look at this. This is the central sulcus where my arrow is moving right now, separating frontal and parietal. This is the parieto-occipital, which is separating parietal and occipital. This is the lateral sulci or the Sylvian sulcus, which is separating parietal from the temporal as well as frontal from the temporal as well as parietal from the temporal. तो ये दोनों को इधर सेपरेट करना है. Clear about this, all of you? Anyone having any difficulty in understanding these points? See, very important points. These are very, very important points. ये है ना, फिर बाद में है ना जान खा लेता है अपनी किधर कौन है. Okay, so see, since these three sulci are not complete, the lobes are not clearly demarked from each other. You can see that they are partially separated. A fifth median lobe called as insula or insular cortex is folded deep within the lateral sulcus, which is not visible. वो अंदर की तरफ ऐसे folded होता है insula. Okay, ये जो है ये ऐसे अंदर की तरफ folded है जो इधर नहीं दिखाई देता है. Now these things aren't mentioned in our NCERT textbooks, my dears. And these questions are asked as outside the syllabus questions. It's actually not outside the syllabus. It is a part of your government textbook. You all are very lucky that you have got this government textbook for reference. You have to study this for your boards. So those who have not taken the HSE boards will never touch these books. And for them, this content will be an alien content. But for you all, it is not, because it's a part of your board syllabus. So remember what is insula. So a fifth median lobe. 4 lobes तो है ही, frontal, parietal, occipital, temporal. These are the 4 lobes. They are saying there's one more fifth folded lobe called as insula, which is lying deep within the lateral sulcus. So it is folded inwards. तो वो दिखता नहीं है. ठीक है? The grey matter of the cerebral cortex mainly consists of cell bodies of billions of neurons along with non-merilated fiber. That is the reason they are gray in color, right? And the dendrons. So you already know that they are gray because of non-myelinated nerve fibers. The white matter mainly has axons of myelinated nerves. This point we have already seen in the last class. Okay, so till here any difficulty? Till here any difficulty, बच्चा? सबको बराबर समझ में आ गया है जितना भी मैंने यहाँ पर पिन पॉइंट किया है? हाँ, अब इसको और थोड़ा सा डिटेलिंग किया है. Look at it. Forebrain. The other name of forebrain is prosencephalon. You need to remember these names because sometimes in your examinations they won't use the word forebrain. They would use prosencephalon, mesencephalon, diencephalon, metencephalon. You should know what is what. Okay. Cephalon का मतलब है brain का part. Anything associated with brain is cephalon. Okay. So prosencephalon or forebrain, it is going to be further divided into rhinencephalon, telencephalon and diencephalon. देखो, very important point. Rhinencephalon is nothing but reduced olfactory lobes. Why reduced olfactory lobes? Because olfactory lobes are not very well developed in humans. Therefore, they are saying reduced. Okay. So as we saw that the forebrain is going to be made up of olfactory lobes, cerebrum and diencephalon is what we have already, read before. So वही है, बस ये olfactory lobes को हम क्या कहते हैं? Rhinencephalon. Okay. Second is telencephalon, which is nothing but the cerebrum. So cerebrum divided incompletely into 2 cerebral hemispheres. Okay. Diencephalon is further classified into epithalamus, thalamus and hypothalamus. अब hypothalamus हमें पता है already because we have seen chemical control and coordination, in which we saw that hypothalamus is playing a very important role in producing the hormones that are going to trigger the pituitary to form its hormones. Yeah? Yes. So we have already studied in detail about the hypothalamus. Agreed? So here, hypothalamus, hypo means below. Okay, epi means above. So ये thalamus है, thalamus के ऊपर हम कहेंगे epithalamus, thalamus के below हम कहते हैं hypothalamus. So epithalamus, thalamus and hypothalamus collectively will be called as diencephalon. So central nervous system, mean, there are three types of nervous system: CNS, PNS, and ANS. CNS is further divided into brain and spinal cord. Brain is further divided into forebrain, that is prosencephalon. Prosencephalon is further divided into diencephalon, telencephalon, and diencephalon. Diencephalon is made up of reduced olfactory lobes. Telencephalon is made up of cerebrum. And diencephalon is again further made up of epithalamus, thalamus, and hypothalamus. Okay. Telencephalon is nothing, it is the cerebrum. It's the cerebrum. Okay. समझ में आ गई ये पूरी कहानी यहाँ तक. अभी ऑफ कोर्स इसको हमें डिटेल में देखना है. What is olfactory bulbs? What is cerebrum? What is diencephalon? All things we have to see in details. Then look at the midbrain. Midbrain is also called as mesencephalon. What is it what we call as mesencephalon? It's going to be made up of cerebral peduncles or crura cerebri and corpora quadrigemina. अब ये दो क्या है? I'll explain of course. But midbrain बिल्कुल simple है, दो ही चीजें हैं उसमें. Crura cerebri and corpora quadrigemina. Only two things. So your midbrain is not as vast as the forebrain. Midbrain only two things: crura cerebri and corpora quadrigemina. तो ये बिल्कुल simple है. Okay. Just remember the names, इसीलिए मैंने ये डाला है. Okay. Then we have got something called as the last one, that is hindbrain, also called as rhombencephalon. So this rhombencephalon or the hindbrain is again made up of metencephalon and myelencephalon. Metencephalon, cerebellum and pons, while myelencephalon, medulla oblongata. So हमें क्या अभी तक पढ़ाया गया था स्कूल लेवल में? That hindbrain जो होता है, it is made up of cerebellum, pons varoli, and medulla oblongata. Agreed. But now we have, in higher standards. So उसके बीच में भी ये जो metencephalon and myelencephalon है, remember these words. Is it clear? Anyone having any difficulty? Okay, this chart is very important. This chart में पूरा का पूरा अपने ब्रेन की पूरी कहानी यहाँ पर एक्सप्लेन की गई है. Okay, I know it is there in your books, but I want you all to draw this. Write down this in your books, in your own handwriting. Please, it's very important. Don't take screenshots, don't do shortcuts, don't become lazy. You have to write this the way it is given. Please, come on. आपका जो बुक है ना, उसको ऐसे हॉरिजॉन्टल करके लिख ले. वर्टिकल बुक को हॉरिजॉन्टल करना और ये लिख. चल, I'll give you all time to write this, but I want all of you all to write this, please. Don't be lazy. Come on. सुबह सुबह फ्रेश माइंड में ये लिखते जाओ फटाफट. Done. लिखा ये, ड्रॉ किया. Some of you are still right. Right. It's called as Pons Varoli. Pons Varoli. Okay, so whenever you would refer your notes now, this chart is very important. You should refer this out. And you should continuously try to memorize these, because these are the points which are going to be asked in your both exams. Okay? Chalo, I guess you all have completed. I'll go ahead with each of these. Okay? Yeah. Corpus callosum is typically seen in mammalian brain. It's a structure seen in mammalian brain. So many points, but what to do? That is called as our control system, na beta. It has to be elaborate. So corpus callosum is typically seen in mammalian brain. Corpus callosum is the largest commissure of the brain. Commissure matlab connector. What do you mean by the word commissure? Connector. It has an anterior and posterior fold called as genu and splenium. आगे आएगा ये genu and splenium respectively. So anterior fold is called as genu and posterior fold is called as splenium. So that is what they're asking. Why an injury to the right cerebrum affects the functioning of the left side of the body? So it's because of this corpus callosum. Okay. Well, now we talk about the frontal forebrain first. That is each one in detail. Functional areas of the cerebrum. बेटा यहाँ पर है सबसे important वाली कहानी. हर एक पार्ट में कुछ ना कुछ ऐसे फंक्शनल एरियाज है जो कि स्पेसिफिकली उस एरिया में ही प्रेजेंट है ब्रेन के. सो लुक एट फ्रंटल लोब्स. दे हैव मोटर एरिया. You saw where is the frontal lobe. The yellow part was the frontal lobe, right? So they have the motor area which controls voluntary motor activities or movements of the muscles. Means if I want to say yes, I want to say no, huh? I want to move my hand, I don't want to move my hand, I want to move my jaw bones, I don't want to move my jaw bones. Every voluntary action that you all are performing is purely controlled by this motor area. See, so important it is. Your facial expressions. हाँ, कभी कभी अलग अलग टाइप के तुम लोग फेसेस बनाते हो फ्रेंड्स को देख के. बनाते हो कि नहीं? वो भी वॉलंटरीली. तो जो भी वॉलंटरी एक्शंस है तुम्हारे हिसाब से जो तुम्हें मूवमेंट्स करने हैं मसल्स के, that is purely controlled by whom? The motor area. And where is this motor area present? It is present in the frontal lobe. ये जो frontal part है अपना cerebrum का, इधर का area, इधर है ये motor area. Okay. The premotor area is higher center of involuntary movements and autonomous nervous system. Involuntary movements. What are the involuntary movements, beta? What could be the involuntary movements? The peristaltic movements of your alimentary canal. Involuntary, you can't control it. Can you control it? मैं स्टमक को palpitation से मुझे रोकना है, कर सकती हूँ क्या? नहीं. So all the involuntary movements are going to be controlled by the premotor area, मतलब motor area के आगे वाला part. Okay? Association area is for coordination between sensation and movements. Now this association area is going to be present, spread out between all the different specific areas. So ये motor area है, ये premotor area है, दोनों के बीच में का जो area है, that will be called as association area. It is going to be for what two reasons? See, it is present between the for coordination between sensation and movements. Sensation and movements का मतलब क्या हो गया? What do you mean by sensation? If there is any particular pain या फिर ache या फिर hurting या फिर peace, whatever is your sensation, okay, उसको कोऑर्डिनेट करना है, उसको इनवॉलंटरी से और वॉलंटरी से, right? So this will be controlled by the association area. So whether the involuntary action should go on, whether the voluntary action should go on, will be controlled by this association area. Okay, got it? Broca's area, also called as motor speech area, which translates thoughts into speech, okay, is also present over here. See, what is Broca's area? The one which will translate thoughts into speech. So first you think something before talking. Maybe it is, like a fraction of a second, but you think before you talk generally, है ना? तो हमें लगता नहीं कि हमने इसके बारे में कुछ सोचा है, हम लोग को लगता है हम ऐसे ही बड़बड़ कर रहे, लेकिन ऐसा नहीं होता है बेटा. पहले दिमाग में वो थॉट आता है और फिर उस थॉट को स्पीच में कन्वर्ट करते हैं हम लोग. ओके, सो हु इज कंट्रोलिंग दैट थिंकिंग एंड ट्रांसलेटिंग इनटू अ स्पीच? द ब्रोकास एरिया. सी, कितने मस्त फंक्शंस हैं ना अपने ब्रेन के. एक्सप्रेशन ऑफ इमोशंस, इंटेलिजेंस, विल पावर, memory, personality areas are located in the frontal lobe itself. So overall, you as a personality, okay, is purely associated with what? The frontal lobe. तो तुम शरारती हो, तुम शांत हो, तुम गुस्से वाले हो, हाँ, तुम सॉफ्ट हार्टेड हो, ये सारे जो इमोशंस है ना, they all are associated with the frontal lobe. It's purely present in the frontal lobe. There are so many people now who are very emotional. मूवी देखने के लिए जाते हैं, उसमें कुछ ऐसा रोने वाला सीन आ गया तो खुद ही रो लेते हैं. You've seen this? They start crying. अरे it's a movie यार, let it be. But नहीं, कंट्रोल नहीं कर पाते ये लोग. There are so many people like this. They'll see something on the screen and they'll start crying themselves. Why? The emotional area is also present in their frontal lobe. Expressions. Some people ना, उनके expressions है ना एकदम मतलब lively होते हैं. They are so lively that you feel very happy talking to them, being along with them, being around them. खुश रहते हो तुम लोग. लेकिन कुछ लोगों के चेहरे ऐसे होते हैं ना, the way they make their faces, you feel so dejected. You feel अरे यार नहीं, ये इसके साथ नहीं, इसके पास नहीं जाना है, इसके साथ भी बात करनी है. All are going to be a part of the frontal lobe. So frontal lobe is associated with what all things you understood, beta? All of you all have understood. Voluntary activities, involuntary activities, motor speech area, that is thoughts to speech, along with intelligence, emotions, personality, willpower, memory, all are associated with this. Some people are very good at remembering things, ना? है या नहीं? 10 साल पहले इसने मुझे ऐसे बोला था, अब आज मुझे चांस मिला तो नहीं छोड़ूंगी। होते हैं ना ऐसे लोग भाई। 10 साल पहले जो हुआ है, some people are like absolutely, you know, like they forget it. एक मिनट, कॉफ सिल देना। some people are like, you know, forget it, कि छोड़ नहीं, चलता रहता है। but some people are very particular about it. कुछ कुछ चीजें बहुत दिमाग में रख लेते हैं, है ना। so that is also going to be a part of this frontal willpower. some people have what we say ना, कि इतने वो जो भी है, दादाजी है, नाना जी है, जो भी है, वो इतने बूढ़े हो गए हैं लेकिन उनकी विल पावर बहुत अच्छी है। some people suffer from cancer and they, you know, come out of it उनकी विल पावर पे। तो अगर बोलते हैं ना, आपकी अगर विल पावर स्ट्रॉन्ग है तो यू कैन ओवरकम एनीथिंग। frontal lobe, understood all the functions of the frontal lobe, nothing is given in NCR. Okay, remember these points. Second is the parietal lobe. We have seen frontal के बाजू में parietal, तो ये the parietal lobe. They are mainly for soma aesthetic sensation of pain, pressure, temperature, taste. Soma aesthetic sensation. Soma means body. Aesthetic means feelings. So sensation of pain. If it's paining somewhere. Okay. Pressure. लोकल ट्रेन में अगर ट्रैवल करोगे तो प्रेशर क्या होता है वो समझ में आ जाएगा आपको, राइट। टेम्परेचर एंड टेस्ट, दैट इज gustatoreceptors we call it. It's all associated with the parietal lobe. So you say ना, ये मुझे अच्छा लगा, ये मुझे अच्छा नहीं लगा, I don't like this, I love this. That is your gustatoreceptors. Okay, that is going to be your parietal lobe. Then comes the temporal lobe. नीचे वाला जो था ना, ग्रीन कलर वाला पार्ट, temporal lobe, it contains centers for smell, hearing, speech and emotions. अब यहाँ पर speech क्या है? What is the speech in temporal? हमने तो देखा है कि Broca's area is converting thoughts to speech. Then what is this speech? Firstly, चल olfactory ठीक है, smelling. You get the smell because of the center present in the temporal lobe. Hearing, auditory center is also in the temporal. Temporal मतलब ये वाला part, side का, this part. चलो, understood. अब ये speech कौन सा है? So this speech is also going to be what, you know, which language you use. The thought is converted into a speech, but see, even I sometimes, you know, majority of the times I use a combination of Hindi and English, right? Sometimes I use, you know, the local names कुछ है तो I will use the local language of, you know, Marathi या फिर गुजराती में इसको क्या बोलते हैं, which I know. So those words which I'm using, okay, are decided by this particular area of the temporal lobe. Okay, here also emotions are there. So even in the frontal lobe we had emotions, even in temporal lobe we have got emotions. You know why? Because if you look at this diagram, see this side, this is the only separating part of the temporal and the frontal. Okay, so this would be the center for emotions. जहाँ मेरा अभी ये move हो रहा है ना, ये देखो, this is for emotions, even this is for emotions. So technically ये दो almost छोटे से gap से separated है, इसलिए दोनों भी emotions के लिए काम में आते हैं. Fine. So it is going to be for emotions as well. Occipital, as the name says, they have visual area mainly for sense of vision. So you understood that which area is having what specific roles. Anyone who has not understood any point for this? Anyone beta? कोई भी पॉइंट नहीं समझाओ तो प्लीज पूछ लेना. ये हमेशा आता है कि which particular area is responsible for which particular function. Clear about it? No difficulty? Next. The area of contact between temporal, parietal and occipital. See, the three which are connected together. So the area of contact between temporal, the green part, parietal, the purple part, and the occipital, the blue part. Okay, it's a center for Wernicke's area or intelligence area. Now, intelligence was there in frontal lobe also, and it is going to be present at the back side near the occipital lobe also. It helps in understanding of spoken and written words. So, ये जो intelligence है, it is not your IQ. This intelligence is analytical intelligence. What do you mean by analytical intelligence? Whatever you hear, do you understand that? Whatever you read, do you understand that? That is purely associated with the Wernicke's area. Now, I don't know if you are, anyone of you are like this way, but I have a sister, my cousin sister, मेरे मामा की बेटी है वो. उसका ये Wernicke's area जो है ना, वो इतना डेवलप्ड है कि वो एक बार ऐसे देख लेती है ना पैराग्राफ को, उसकी जेरोक्स कॉपी उसके Wernicke's area में फिट हो जाती है. She just reads it once and it's done. Even after 10 years, you ask her now, she would be able to, read the entire textbook without getting it in front of her. Got it? Yeah, they are blessed people, in fact. मतलब वो एक बार उसने अगर ये रीड किया है, it's like forever. हाँ, but उसका analytical intelligence है, but उसका IQ का problem है. Means what? Applications नहीं है. She read it, right? She understood it, means उसकी कॉपी उसके दिमाग में है, but उसका application क्या है? She won't be able to come to that thing. हाँ, exactly. That is what has happened with her. In fact, that is what is. This is going to be a part of every system of education like NEET. So maybe she will get full marks in her NEET because she has read it and she can reproduce it. But application, if she becomes a doctor, no application. Okay? Yes, exactly. She's completely, like Xerox copy बन जाती है उसकी पूरी की पूरी एक बार read करने पर. और आज ही नहीं, you ask her after 20 years also, na, she will be able to recollect it and give the right exactly the same wordings. So the Wernicke's area is responsible for such type of an intelligence. No. She cannot become a doctor because application nahi hai na. Okay. Yeah. So the cerebrum that shows all three types of areas: sensory, motor, and association area. Basal nuclei or basal ganglia are gray masses present between the white matter or lying on the lateral sides of the thalamus. The basal ganglia or nuclei of cerebrum receives neurotransmitters from various parts. They help the cortex in the execution of activities at the subconscious level. Example, writing slow or rapid typing. है ना? हम लोग क्या स्पीड से करते हैं वो भी हमारा ब्रेन डिसाइड करता है बेटा. Fine. Corpus stratum, that is at the floor of the cerebrum, is largest basal nucleus. ये आया था, हाँ? ये question आया था. Given in this book, not anywhere else. So that is going to be the Largest basin, nucleus. Nucleus is not a nucleus. Nuclei are cells. Huh? You know this now. ब्रेन के ये सेल्स को हम न्यूक्लियल सेल्स कहते हैं या न्यूक्लियाई कहते हैं. फाइन. So that's with your forebrain का second part, cerebrum. Any difficulty in understanding this? Cerebrum पूरा समझा बेटा? Any doubt? Then we come to the third part of the forebrain, that is diencephalon. It is the part of the forebrain that contains the epithalamus, thalamus, and the hypothalamus. We have already seen that in that chart. You all have written that in your chart. Okay. Diencephalon lies below the corpus callosum and above the midbrain. So it is sandwiched between whom and whom? The corpus callosum and the midbrain. Okay. It encloses a single cavity called as the third ventricle, or it's also called as the diocele, which communicates with the two lateral ventricles of the cerebrum through a narrow opening called as foramen of Monro. ये बहुत important है. तो क्या होता है ना, ये जो diencephalon है ना, it is going to be enclosing. Enclosing मतलब something like this way. So this is the diencephalon. It is going to enclose. You can see a pen in my hand, right? The third ventricle. Okay, this third ventricle is going to communicate between the whom? The cerebrum on the left and cerebrum on the right hemispheres. So right hemisphere and left hemispheres को जो ये third ventricle connect कर रहे हैं ना, उसको ये diencephalon ने इस तरीके से enclose किया है. Got it? So through a narrow opening called as foramen of Monro. ये important है, foramen of Monro कहाँ होता है. So understood this particular point till here. What is diocele? What is third? There are actually basically there are 4 ventricles which would be present, out of which the third ventricle is going to be enclosed within the diencephalon. Fine. Look at this diagram. I'm sure. Yeah. Here you can see the central sulcus, the lateral ventricle. See, this is the lateral ventricle, this brown part. Okay, you can see over here the yellow part, which is the corpus callosum. Okay, look at this thalamus. Can you see this thalamus? Hypothalamus. ये दिखाई दे रहा है नीचे वाला part. This is the hypothalamus. So ये thalamus है, ये hypothalamus. Okay. Here you can see the pituitary gland, which is hanging from the hypothalamus by a stalk called as infundibulum. I guess you all are remembering this infundibulum, right? ये देखो बेटा, ये वाला part, yeah, the white part, exactly. Okay. Then here you can see the midbrain. ये देखो. Can you see the midbrain over here? This is going to be the midbrain. Okay. So as I say, that corpus callosum ऊपर से है और midbrain नीचे से है, जिसने ये diencephalon को enclose किया. Correct? This is going to be your pons. This blue part is going to be, or gray part is going to be the pons. The green part ka upper bulged part will be called as the medulla. An extension of the medulla is going to be the spinal cord. Here you can see the parieto-occipital sulcus, which is separating the parietal lobe and the occipital lobe. ये वाला sulcus. Here you can see the choroid plexus. ये वाला part. Can you see this choroid plexus very clearly? A gap, which is going to secrete CSF, right? Here you can see the pineal gland. ये देखो, this is the pineal gland. Right? Arbor vitae क्या है? It's a branching part which will be dealt in the part of cerebellum. And of course, this is going to be the cerebellum. So cerebrum is almost 85% of your brain is made up of cerebrum. And of course, the next largest part is going to be the cerebellum. Understood this? Now they are saying that the third ventricle will be enclosed by the diencephalon, which cannot be seen over here because ये ऐसे बाहर की तरफ आएगा तो दूसरे पार्ट अटैच हो जाएंगे. तो it is going to be a connector. It's going to be like a connector. So this is the one hemisphere. This would be the second hemisphere. तो यहाँ से निकल आएगा बाहर. You can see this particular point. Can you see this circle? Foramen of Monro. Okay. So this is about the diagrammatic view of our human brain. Correct? Now see, we talk about all the three parts of our diencephalon. The epithalamus is the thin, non-nervous roof of the diencephalon. Non-nervous का मतलब क्या है? It does not have any neurons. Anteriorly, आगे से, it is fused with the pia mater to form the anterior choroid plexus. So, it's going to be attached with the pia mater to form the anterior choroid plexus. And from the dorsal wall, it is connected to the pineal gland through the pineal stalk. So it is just, like a covering. आगे से it is attached with the pia mater वाला area and पीछे से it is attached with the pineal gland. Pineal gland is discussed in detail in chemical coordination, which we have already done it. Earlier, this gland was thought to be vestigial, but later it has been found to produce a hormone, melatonin. Pineal gland produces melatonin, which we know. Melatonin is sleep-inducing hormone also related to reproductive behavior, that is your libido. We have already seen this. The lateral thick walls of diencephalon form the thalami. Thalamus is singular, thalami are plural. Okay, so what are they saying? The lateral thick walls of diencephalon. So ऊपर से it is epithalamus. Side से जो walls है, okay, ये जो side से walls है, उसको हम क्या कहेंगे? Thalamus. Okay, two are there, one thalamus and another thalamus. So collectively it will be called as what? Thalami. Fine. So the lateral thick walls of the diencephalon forms the thalami. They mainly contain the gray matter. The habencular commissure connects the two thalami. तो ये दो boxes के जो sides है, इनको भी तो connect करने वाला कोई तो चाहिए ना? I've already told you what is a commissure. Commissure is a connector. So these two thalami will be connected together by which commissure? Habencular commissure. Different parts of the brain are interconnected by RAS. Most important. Most important. What is the full form of RAS? Reticular activating system through the thalami. So thalami is going to be like a box which will have several, connecting structures for coordination of the entire brain activities. जिसको हम RAS कहते हैं. आगे आएगा RAS के बारे में. देखो. It is a relay center as it transmits all sensory impulses except those of the olfactory to the cerebrum. मतलब क्या? Touch, taste, emotions, intelligence, remembering, IQ, मेमोरी, मूवमेंट्स, ये सारे जो ट्रांसमिट करने होते हैं ना, फ्रंटल लोब, पैराइटल लोब, ऑसिपिटल लोब, ये सारे के सारे ये थैलेमस के थ्रू जाएंगे. तो दिस थैलेमस इज गोइंग टू एक्ट लाइक अ रिले सेंटर. रिले सेंटर का मतलब समझा ना, जहां से ये ब्रॉडकास्टिंग होगा. So the relay center is going to be the area from where these impulses would reach the specific lobes of the cerebrum. अगर रिले सेंटर में गड़बड़ है तो हम लोग उस बंदे को ट्यूबलाइट कहते हैं. पता है तुम्हें? What is a ट्यूबलाइट in your language only? I'm saying. What is a ट्यूबलाइट बेटा? नहीं पता? If I say something and you don't realize only, तुम ऐसे ही देखते रहोगे और फिर 10 मिनट के बाद तुम्हें रियलाइज होगा, ओके ओके मिस ने ये बोला था, तो तुम्हें ट्यूबलाइट बोला जाता है. Yeah, they take a lot of time for interpretation because probably their relay center their relay center is not strong enough. लूज कनेक्शन कहते हैं क्या? We used to call it as ट्यूबलाइट है ये. मतलब आई हैव सेड समथिंग और ये देख ही रहा है और आफ्टर फ्यू मिनट्स उसको रियलाइज हुआ, ओके ओके ऐसे करना है. You all are LEDs. That's good. That's good. I'm very happy that I'm teaching my LEDs. Well, so this is what is going to be the main function of the relay center. And where is the relay center? It is going to be a part of your thalamus. Okay. Different parts of the brain are interconnected by the RAS through the thalami. It is called as the relay center as it transmits all sensory impulses except smell. Olfaction का इधर relay center से कुछ लेना देना है नहीं, तो directly olfactory lobes में इधर चला जाता है. Well, connecting the anterior lateral ventricle to the iter posteriorly. अब देखो हाँ, ये important है. Where is the iter? See. So it is called as the relay center as it transmits all sensory impulses except those of the olfactory to the cerebrum. That is the gatekeeper of the cerebrum कहते हैं लोग उसको, which connects the anterior lateral ventricle. I told you there are 4 ventricles. तो ये जो anterior means आगे की तरफ, lateral means side की तरफ, जो ventricle है, it is connected to the iter posteriorly. So iter is also one of the ventricles only. Okay, iter भी एक ventricle ही है. The narrow cavity of diencephalon is called as the third ventricle or the diocele, which is enclosed by the diencephalon. Correct? It connects anteriorly to the 2 lateral ventricles by a single opening called as foramen of Monro, जो हमने already देखा था, and posteriorly to the 4th ventricle or metacele through a narrow duct called as iter. तो iter भी क्या है बेटा? It's a part of your ventricle only. Duct है वो, जो 3rd ventricle and 4th ventricle को connect करेगा. So these ventricles are interconnected. What are ventricles actually? They are pipelines. They are tubes. Okay. So these tubes are interconnected. First ventricle, second ventricle, third ventricle, and fourth ventricle. The first ventricle right hemisphere में है, second ventricle left hemisphere में है. They connect like a Y-shaped structure, जिसको हम third ventricle कहते हैं, which will extend below to reach the medulla oblongata, जिसको हम fourth ventricle कहते हैं. Okay. तो third ventricle and fourth ventricle का जो junction point है, connecting point है, उसको हम कहते हैं iter. Correct? So left, right, Y-shaped tail, which is the third ventricle, enclosed by the diencephalon, which will eventually connect to the fourth ventricle by opening or a connector called as iter. तो समझा ये कैसे होते हैं? What are ventricles? ये समझा. They are hollow cavities. They are pipelines present in the brain. Any difficulty in understanding these? Iter को हम duct of Sylvius भी कहते हैं. Understood this? Is there any confusion in understanding this? देखो कितना डिटेल में दिया है बेटा. ये जो डिटेलिंग है यही सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट है. इसकी ब्यूटी ही ये है, अपना ब्रेन. So those who are you know, wishing to become neurosurgeons, उनके लिए तो ये chapter मतलब the best one, most important part है अपने पूरे human body का, the brain. If I would have got a chance, I would have definitely gone ahead with this neuro. मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगता है न्यूरो वाला पार्ट. कितना मतलब क्या क्या नहीं है देखो उसमें, सब कुछ भरा पड़ा है ना. So any difficulty beta, any doubts in this, any problem in this, please let me know. Third ventricle, fourth ventricle, anterior, lateral, posterior, सब कुछ समझा language. Then we come to the hypothalamus. ये देखो हमारे ventricles दिए हैं. This is the first and the second ventricle, which are lateral ventricles, right? This is the third ventricle, correct? This is the fourth ventricle. और ये जो है इधर सेंट्रल कनाल लिखा हुआ है ना. सॉरी, ये जो है ये फोर्थ वेंट्रिकल लिखा हुआ है. यहाँ पर जो है ये जो पॉइंट है, दिस विल बी कॉल्ड एज द आइटर. ओके, सो आई टोल्ड यू लेफ्ट राइट वन ईच, वाई शेप स्ट्रक्चर नीचे आता है, दैट इज द थर्ड, व्हिच विल बी कनेक्टेड टू द फोर्थ वाया आइटर. So these are hollow cavities. Okay, ये ऐसे दिखता है in the sagittal plane cross section. The lateral ventricles, ये left में, ये right में, correct? This is going to be the third ventricle, right? This would be the fourth ventricle. That. Via iter, I-T-E-R. Okay, so these are the ventricles. Now understood this part? Then we talk about the hypothalamus. Hypothalamus, it forms the floor of the diencephalon. It forms the floor of the diencephalon. It is richly supplied with blood vessels. Helps in feedback mechanism for hormonal control. It maintains homeostasis, internal equilibrium of the body, and involuntary behavior control. Hypothalamus. Okay. Like in the cerebrum, the hypothalamus also contains hypothalamic nuclei in its white matter. हमने pituitary gland already देखा हुआ है, तो हमें पता है ये वाला part. Hypothalamus की cells को हम nuclei बोल रहे थे, उस star shape जो बनाया था. With neurosecretory cells involved in the production of hormones, oxytocin and vasopressin. We already know now, because chemical coordination हमने किया है, we know that hypothalamus will make oxytocin and vasopressin. And it will be sent to be stored in which area? Who stores it? Can you all recollect it? Who stores this oxytocin and vasopressin beta temporarily? Very good, very good. Yes, 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 yes. Which part of the pituitary, Arpita is right? Which part of the pituitary is going to store it? Okay, so I am happy that you all remember this. Okay. The hypothalamus is a link between the nervous and the endocrine system. We know this. Endocrine system is your hormonal system. It has higher centers for endocrine systems. It has higher centers for endocrine system. Yeah. So all the hormones are going to be ultimately, produced because of the hypothalamus itself. It regulates heart rate, respiration, blood pressure, body temperature, water, and electrolyte balance. It has centers for hunger, thirst, sleep, fatigue, satiety center. Satiety means खाना खाने के बाद आपका जो दिल भरता है, बोलते हैं ना, हाँ बस now I can't eat anything more. इसको हम कहते हैं satiety. The feeling of no more eating. Okay. Satiety center, secretion of glands of the stomach and intestine. It also produces neurohormones that stimulate the pituitary gland. A complex neuronal circuit called as the limbic system is formed by the hypothalamus amygdala. Hypothalamus amygdala is the amygdala is a part of your hypothalamus basically, along with parts of epithalamus and thalamus, hippocampus and other areas. So amygdala, hippocampus, these are the parts of hypothalamus. Okay, these are responsible for the limbic system, that is the sexual behavior. The limbic system hota hai, that is going to be the sexual behavior of every individual. It appears to be responsible for emotional reactions, motivational drives, and memory. The floor of the hypothalamus continues as downward projection called as the hypophyseal stalk, or we call it as infundibulum, which connects it to the hypophysis, that is the pituitary gland, both physically and functionally by the secretion of neurotransmitters. So we have already seen the neurotransmitters in chemical coordination. The inferior surface of the hypothalamus also bears optic chiasma. Visual. So, कहाँ थे हम लोग? Yeah. So the inferior surface of the hypothalamus also bears the optic chiasma, crossing of the two optic nerves. What is chiasma? ये ऐसे दो optic nerves cross होते हैं, ये point को हम कहते हैं chiasma. And a pair of mammillary bodies unique to mammalian brain and responsible for recollective memory. बेटा यहाँ पर mammillary bodies is nothing associated with the mammary glands. Mammillary bodies are recollecting. You recollect what had happened 20 years before, 10 years before, 5 years before, one day before. You recollect. So that recollecting capacity जो होती है ना, इसके वजह से some people are very good at it. Huh? I mean, I've seen my own Dadaji. He died at the age of 91, 92 almost. But till his death now, he was like, he could remember everything. Not a single thing that he had, you know, like forgotten. His school days के time की सारी कहानियां वो हमें बताते थे. His brain was like, we used to always see कि इतना अच्छा brain कैसा है आपका. हमें तो 2 साल पहले क्या हुआ है वो भी याद नहीं रहता. अरे कल क्या खाना खाया है वो भी मुझे रिकलेक्ट करने के लिए 2 मिनट लगते हैं. If you ask me कल रात को क्या खाना खाया, I have to think over it for a second and then maybe I'll reply. But he used to tell everything कितना मतलब पुराना, when he was 5 years old तो क्या हुआ था, ऐसा वैसा. At the age of 91, 92, imagine. So it is only because of this mammillary bodies. Fine. Some people are good at it. Some people are not good at it. Like me. I don't remember the things what had happened. Anyways. So that's all with your forebrain. Any difficulty with the forebrain, beta? Forebrain नहीं समझा है कोई भी point तो please बोलो मुझे. Anybody having difficulty with the forebrain? Everything understood? As I said, the midbrain एकदम छोटा है और बहुत easy है. So within 5 minutes, I can easily complete the midbrain. Okay, I'll just complete the midbrain for today. Midbrain, it is located between diencephalon and the pons varoli. We saw, है ना? Diencephalon and the pons varoli के बीच में वो डायग्राम मैंने आपको midbrain का दिखाया था. It contains a cerebral aqueduct or iter that connects the third and the fourth ventricle. ये देखो ना, ये देखो cerebral aqueduct here, right? तो midbrain में ये आ जाता है. This is going to be the area of the midbrain, which is going to have iter present. ये देखो, this is correct. That connects the third and the fourth ventricle. So we know that third ventricle ऊपर है, fourth ventricle नीचे है, दोनों को connect कर रहा है अपना iter. The corpora quadrigemina and crura berry, ये दो ही parts हैं midbrain के. So we are first talking about the corpora quadrigemina. The corpora quadrigemina are 4 rounded elevations on the dorsal surface of the midbrain. 4 है इसलिए quadri बोला है बेटा. Okay. The 2 superior colliculi are involved in visual reflexes. So total there are 4 colliculi. 2 plus 2. So they are saying the superior, मतलब ऊपर वाले जो दो है ना, they are associated with what? They are associated with visual reflexes. And the 2 inferior colliculi are the relay centers for auditory reflexes. So auditory means hearing. तो एक है visual के लिए ऊपर वाले दो और नीचे वाले जो दो है वो है hearing के लिए. Okay, that operate when it is necessary to move the head or hear sounds more distinctly. जैसे कि see you're walking on the road और पीछे से अगर किसी ने तुम्हें बुलाया तुम्हारे नाम से तो तुम जो पीछे देखोगे ना, that is because of this corpora quadrigemina के lower 2 caricula. Okay, और फिर I don't know if you have observed this, तुमने कभी टेनिस या फिर बैडमिंटन की मैच देखी है क्या? टेनिस खेलते या बैडमिंटन खेलते वो देखा है आपने? So how your eyes move or your head moves? Left to right, right to left. तो ये जो तुम्हारा मूवमेंट है ना उसको देखने का, that is your upper 2 colliculi. Okay, so if you have seen the match of badminton or you have seen the match of tennis, तो तुम्हारा जो हेड मूव होता है, तुम्हारे जो आंखें मूव होती है ना, उसको फॉलो करने के लिए शटलकॉक को या उस बॉल को, that is because of this corpora quadrigemina के upper 2 superior colliculi. Understood? कितने important है ये, right? So see, to move the head to hear sounds more distinctly. The midbrain also contains on its inferior surface 2 thick fibrous tracts called as cerebral peduncles, or they are called as crura berry. They are only 2, huh? Okay. These tracts of ascending and descending nerve fibers form the ras and connect the cerebrum midbrain. तो midbrain में जो रेटिकुलेटिंग वो जो स्ट्रक्चर्स है अपना सिस्टम जो है रास का, वो इनिशिएट कहाँ से होता है? देखो बेटा, वो कहाँ से कनेक्ट हो रहा है? फ्रॉम द क्रूरा बेरी. सो क्रूरा बेरी इज गोइंग टू मूव इनटू द You know, those are the tracks which are going to be ultimately leading to the ascending and the descending nerve fibers from the RAS. Okay, and connect the cerebrum cum midbrain. Near the center of the midbrain is a mass of gray matter scattered within the white matter. It is called as red nucleus. Red nucleus plays an important role in controlling posture and muscle tone. तो तुम जो ऐसे लथार्जिक बैठे रहते हो, आधे सोए हुए, आधे लेटे हुए, अभी भी लेक्चर चल रहा है, कुछ बच्चे आराम से लेट लेट के मोबाइल हाथ में लेके देख रहे हैं लेक्चर को, that is controlled by this red nuclei. Okay, and the muscle tone. Fine. Modifying some motor activities and motor coordination. ये सारा का सारा जो है ये रेड न्यूक्लियस का काम है. Understood this? Midbrain, corpora quadrigemina and crura veri. Crura veri associated with the RAS and corpora quadrigemina के चार parts है. Two superior colliculi, two inferior colliculi. Superior colliculi for the vision, especially how to move your head for seeing something, and how to move your head when you hear something. Okay, that is for the inferior. Always remember, position of red nucleus, you want me to repeat? Yes, see, near the center of the midbrain. Center of the midbrain, midbrain का जो center है, वहाँ पर है gray matter. Okay, which is scattered within the white matter. Fine. So this gray matter scattered within the white matter, it is called as the red nucleus. That zone, center of the midbrain is called as red nucleus. Okay. Remember the difference between Wernicke's area and Broca's area. See, it is sensory speech area responsible for understanding and formulating written and spoken language. While Broca's area, it is the motor speech area and translates thoughts into speech and controls movement of the tongue, lips, and vocal cord. That is Broca's area present in the frontal lobe. Okay, and Wernicke's area present at the junction of the parietal, temporal, and occipital at the back. Correct? So that's all with your frontal lobe. That's all with your midbrain. We are left with the hindbrain, which we will go ahead in the next lecture. That will be on Wednesday. Fine. Tab tak ke liye, take care. Okay. There are many people who are down with cough, cold, fever. So please take care, beta. Don't become a victim to it. I know the climate is changing. Even you, na? I know the climate is changing, but what to do? Yeah, like you'll get vaccinated today. Good. But don't. I am totally down. Yesterday also I had a lot of fever. That is the reason I couldn't come to Vileparle yesterday. I'm like completely down with fever. Today I don't have fever, but my throat is gone badly. There's a lot of body pain. Anyways, chalo beta. See you all. Take care and learn everything what is being taught to you. I know, even I like to take morning lectures actually. You all are fresh, even I am fresh. And morning mein hai na, it becomes easy for grasping the things. In the afternoon, you become lethargic. Yes, beta. Thank you, dear. Okay, chalo. Bye-bye. Have a nice day.